New day. Peace be unto you. Assalamu alaikum. I am Felicia Muhammad, and I want to greet you with Namaste, Hotep. I want to make sure you're here so that we can proceed forward. So I am Felicia Muhammad, your spiritual life and business transformation specialist, awakening dynamics, certified instructor and facilitator, and president of Oneness Wellness Foundation out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And I help people, I support people in knowing how to access the subconscious mind and getting the conscious mind to work together 100% in cooperation with each other to release the limiting beliefs, the programs that we've been running that's keeping us stuck in health, finances, wealth, relationships, love, um, relationships in the community, relationships with your coworkers, your team, um, your community, and your society. All right. So, helping you to have a holistic approach to experience oneness in spirit, mind, body, family, finance, society, and I take you through processes and I empower you to know how to activate the body's ability to self-heal. So I help you to know that you can use this technology called Awakening Dynamics to be able to access the subconscious mind to find out what resonates as truth for you. And this is all around beliefs, programs. So you'll hear me use those two words interchangeably. All right. It's relative to beliefs, programs, the conversations we have in our head, the self talk. And you may know me as coining the phrase shifting your shit. I help you shift your shit. I mean that literally. And it's also an acronym. Okay. And the acronym stands for self healing inner talk. Self healing inner talk. Okay. And so, how do I do that? And why do I do that? And I'll tell you a little bit about my story and how I became aware of this awakening dynamics technology. And some of you may be familiar with it or known as the formula for miracles, or it's also been known as where science meets spirit. Okay, so I'm going to put my website in the chat, and there you can go and get information about it, and it's under programs. Arrive above emotions, helping you to rise above emotions. All right, so why is it important? This is let me back up. Let me back up because I know I can get ahead of myself. So let me. I already did my grounding and my centering, and so now let me just slow down, but not talk to you like you on the slow bus or yellow bus, as they used to say. All right. So this is series four, episode 4 of Unleash Your Inner Millionaire. All right. And so we started the series last week around helping us to know how to access the healer within and get our own foot out of our own way. You know, that self-sabotage, releasing procrastination, all of that. And so I was inspired because, of course, I wanted to share with you what I have had challenges with. Welcome, Denise. Assalamu alaikum. She's new to Blab. Yeah, this is her first day on Blab. She's a big periscoper. So now she's new to Blab, and we want to welcome you to the Blab family. And I will be opening the seats for people to join. So if you would like to join at any point, you can definitely request to join, and I'll open the seat. In the background noise that you hear, I'm at a house with her. She's bedridden, and so she's talking. She had a stroke, and so she's on the healing process. Well, so she's in there talking and communicating with her nurse, and so they are having a real good time. So I love it. So hey, welcome, Diana. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So let me know that you all can hear me okay, if you would, please. I would greatly appreciate it. And again, if you want to join us in the hot seat, I can open it up for you. Just request. We are going to be um, releasing blocks, limiting beliefs around vows of poverty and not being good enough, okay? So that we can unleash our inner millionaire and begin to live on purpose and experience the fullness of life that we are destined to live, okay, and be, all right, because it's a lifestyle, not a quick fix, okay? All right. So, like I said last week, Unleash Your Inner Millionaire, we started the series last week, and I wanted to share with you some of the processes that I experienced as it relates to my reestablishing, let me say that, reestablishing my relationship with money. Okay. Um, and so, just a little bit about my story. I was at this phase where I was assessing my relationship with myself, my intimate relationships, community relationships, and was at the point where, just for me personally, being very introspective. Welcome, Chris. Welcome, Dan. Being very introspective, looking at myself and wondering why I do some of the things I do. And so I would make so much money, but then it seemed like it would stop. Okay, it would stop. And and so I just kept looking at it, and I realized I was having some self-sabotaging patterns that was happening. All right. Welcome, Gail. Hey, Chris, how are you? How are you? Thank you for joining us. And if you have any questions, we're talking about Unleash Your Inner Millionaire. We're going to be doing I'm going to take you through some processes, whether you want to be live with me or if you want to just stay in the chat and have the experience, you're welcome. I'm going to be taking you through some processes and showing you how we can get the subconscious mind and the conscious mind on point so that we can release those limiting beliefs that are keeping us stuck and keeping us broke, keeping us unhealthy. Did I do a good job at explaining that? I'm going to be taking y'all through some processes of showing you how to do that. All right. So how are we going to release these limiting beliefs that are keeping us in these stagnant positions and in unhealthy relationships and have negative self-talk? Okay. How does that sound, Chris? How does that sound? Welcome back. You want to have a relationship again. Okay, and I'm going to be doing a series on that too. If you follow me, you will see where I'm going to be doing a series on the blame game, keys to intimate relationship. Okay, but for now, what we're dealing with the money, because you will notice that in our relationships with money, if you look at your relationship with money, it gives you a clue about other relationships that you have. Okay. Or if you want to turn it around, if you look at your relationships and then look at your relationship with money, you will see some correlations. Are people coming in and out your life? Is the money flowing in and out your life? Okay. So what I help people do as a spiritual life transformation specialist and awakening dynamics practitioner is I help you to know how to access the subconscious mind to release these limiting beliefs that are keeping us in these situations where we are like, man, I keep working on it. I keep trying to change and nothing is happening. Welcome, Jonathan. Welcome, Jonathan. So, would anybody like to? Okay, what I would like for you to do is tell a little bird about what we're talking about. And of course, share your comments in the chat. All right. And if you want to take the open seat, you can, because we're going to be taking you through some processes showing you how to release these limiting beliefs so that your inner millionaire can come out. Okay. And some of us may be in the point where we before we get to the million internet, we need the four figures to happen first, right? Or we need three figures to happen first. Well, it's okay. No matter where you are, there is no judgment. Chris says, but sometimes the girls want to marry too fast. Laugh out loud. Chris want to deal with relationships. And that's cool. We are going to get to that. So what I do is I offer you a complimentary session to whereas we can deal with whatever issues that you feel you may be having. So we're going to tap into the subconscious mind and ask the subconscious mind through muscle testing, okay, using the body as a pendulum through muscle testing. It's called the standing test, to see how those beliefs that you have around these experiences resonate with you. All right. So how would you like that? Everybody on board? You still with me? Jonathan, welcome. I think I welcomed you already. Welcome, welcome. Give me some feedback. Can you hear me okay? Hey, hey, hey. Oh, yeah, I've seen you before. Good stuff. Were you on the first one that we did of Unleash Your Inner Millionaire when we did the clearings? Hey, JC Carol. Always good to see you. Jonathan, were you on the first one we did last week when we did the first one around Unleash Your Inner Millionaire and we did the live demonstrations? Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Did you participate with us? Did you do the sessions as I was walking you through how to zip up your field? Do you remember? Nope. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. No problem. And what I love about this is that, like I'm doing this here, if you want to go back and relook at video number 1, the energy is still present and you will still have success, okay, in going through the process. So are there any questions that you have? Does what I'm saying make sense to you? Do you have a comprehensive with the brief description that I've given? Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Okay. Give me some props. Let's do some interacting here. Okay. All right. So I can't see who that is. Okay, that's J. Carol. Okay. Hey, J. Carol. Good to see you. All right. So not sure since I missed most of it. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing is helping us to tap into the subconscious mind so we can get the subconscious mind and the conscious mind on track, because we know the subconscious mind controls 95% of what we create, the experiences that we have, right? That chatter that we have. All right, 95%. We don't have to think about our heart to beat. We don't have to think about our kidneys to function properly. None of that. The subconscious mind takes care of all of that, which is also the autonomic nervous systems. Thoughts become things. Thoughts become things, in other words. Yes, 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 yes. All right. So what's powerful about that and this technology is that it makes you aware of the words you use because you are consciously creating. Let me say it again. This technology helps you to awaken to being more intentional about the words that you say because you are constantly creating. Whether you're sleeping, you're creating. Subconscious mind still doing what it does. Okay. So what I want to share with you is that when we think about poverty, your internet connection is buffering. Oh, thank you for letting me know that, because I'm just going a mile a minute over here. Thank you, thank you, thank you for letting me know that. Let me see. I make a move to another location. Let me make sure I got my book. Got my hip. Yeah, let me move to another location where I think I get better coverage. Okay, it's a little dark, but I'm gonna get us in the light where it says, let there be light. Hallelujah. How about that? Is that better? Is that better? Is that better? Oh, I need my props. That's better. All right. That's not a good view. Okay, let's do just a plain back view. Okay. All right. So is that better, you guys? Woohoo! Sounds perfect, and image too. Good stuff. Thank you, JC Carroll. All right. So did everybody get that last point that I made? All right. And I know, J. Carroll, you are already on this. So I thank you for your support. Thank you for holding the space. All right. And supporting me with your beautiful, beautiful energy. All right. So, oh, I don't like this light. Okay. Anyway, perfection is the enemy of good enough. All right. So this will be fine for now, as long as I look in the camera and come this way a little bit. Okay. All right. So as I was saying that, okay, let me turn another light. Hold on. Okay. When you're in somebody else's environment, you have to make stuff work. Okay. Just temporarily though. All right. So let's get to it. So I was saying that the power of showing you, because I'm only serving as a facilitator, the power of empowering you to know how to access the subconscious mind is helping you to be aware of the words that you speak, the thoughts that you have. Welcome, the thoughts that you have, because we are constantly creating. When we say, I don't have enough money, the subconscious mind does not, the subconscious mind only hears enough money. I don't have enough money. Okay, I don't have no money. Or I'm not good enough. So it's constantly giving you that. You're getting more of that. Okay. And so if you see me pausing when I'm communicating, it's because I am intentionally being aware of how I'm expressing myself and what I am saying. It's not about me thinking you don't comprehend what I'm saying. It's more about me being aware and intentional in the words that I speak. And because we know thought travels at the speed of 186,000 miles per second, we have enough time to think about what we're saying and be intentional with our speech. Okay? So, how many of you would admit and be transparent and allow yourself to be vulnerable? You are in a safe space, okay? How many of you would admit or acknowledge that you struggle with money? Okay, good. I do. So, as I became aware of this process, which is called Awakening Dynamics, and the program that I actually went through called Unleash Your Inner Millionaire. At the time, I was having my own financial challenges. I think I was saying it earlier before somebody came in and I was speaking. I spoke to him and got distracted. I was saying earlier how I would make money, but I would only make so much, and then it seemed like it would stop. Okay. And so as I kept noticing those patterns, maybe from the time I started my used to be entrepreneurial experience, I looked at those patterns and I kept seeing some similarities. And so as I kept noticing the similarities, I paid attention to it. And so when this started happening, I had this awareness in it was May of 2012. That's when I really decided I needed to reassess my whole life, my relationships, my intimate relationships, my community relationships, my relationship with money, my relationship with the people, the places, and the things that I was allowing in my atmosphere. Okay, and money was on top of the list. Okay, because I kept, like I said, I kept noticing how I would have these self-sabotaging experiences. Okay, and so because I look at all things spiritual and I'm always, trying to find the good in everything, I was participating in a um, I was participating in a telesummit. And this man was talking about unleash your inner millionaire, keys to success, and this new technology he was going to be doing to help you clear the blocks, clear thousands of blocks. All right. So if someone in the chat can let me know how I'm sounding, because I see some things that don't look familiar. So if I need to refresh, let me know. If somebody that's in the chat sounds clear. Okay, good, Jakara. Thanks. All right. And I'm glad you put a picture up so I can finally connect with you. Yes, yes, yes. So good. Okay. I was saying I choose to remember. Yes, give thanks. So he was talking about how he was going to help you clear these limiting beliefs, and he was doing a series called Unleash Your Inner Millionaire. And so I got on the call. He was an MIT engineer and was very skeptical, and so I love skeptics. He was very skeptical, and he never would imagine that he would be doing energy work because he was MIT trained. And so, but he had a stiff elbow, and he had been through all type of allopathic, natural, everything. I mean, he said he had tried it all right, and had not gotten any relief. And one doctor even told him that he just needed to go home, hire somebody to take care of him because he wouldn't be able to feed himself. He wouldn't be able to do anything. He had a stiff elbow. He couldn't move it. And so, and he was one of the pioneers who discovered the gaming with the computer technology with the first games that came out. He did that for, I think it was, I forgot which company that was. That was back in the 80s. But anyway, so he was sharing his story. And so he said he was going to take us through this process to show us how to access the subconscious mind, to release a lot of the limiting beliefs and programs that we may not even be aware is running in our subconscious mind, okay, in our software, because everything was a computer analogy with him, because that's what he could relate to, being an engineer, and that was what he was doing. So it was really interesting. And so nevertheless, when he was telling us about it, of course, a lot of these programs have been passed down generationally. For those who know that, you had past lives before, been passed down from generation to generation, even past life. And he was going to show us how to release these, because some of it, we weren't even, a lot of the things and the programs and the limiting beliefs, we were not even conscious of, right? And so I was one of those, because you couldn't tell me, you couldn't tell me that I wasn't opulence. I wasn't abundance. I wasn't wealth. We are the hardware, and beliefs are our application that we click every morning. Good. I like that. I like that, J. Carroll. And so you couldn't tell me that I wasn't meant to be wealthy. I know I'm royalty, you know. And so with that being the case, I knew that I could make money, and money will flow to me easily and effortlessly. And I worked for money. I worked hard for money, And so when he took us through what I'm going to share with you and take you through, one of the blocks was around poverty, okay? And so, in some religious traditions, we are taught and programmed, and even our parents were programmed, and they passed that down to us when they raise us and say, money don't grow on trees, or money is the root of all evil, those type of beliefs. And when you grow up hearing that and believing that, then you can see why some of the money doesn't flow to you, or you may make a certain amount and it just stops, Okay, so I didn't have the vow of poverty, and some of us believe, some really devout religious followers believe that um, if you have a lot of money, you have to be poor to be close to God. That's it. You have to be poor to be close to God. So a lot of religious people and even us spiritual people or healers give away money, or we don't want to be paid for the gifts, the God-given gifts that we have, that are in the spiritual realm with healing and helping people with the ailments and, this type of thing. And so I have to admit, I was kind of sort of like that in some areas. And so, and it showed up, but I didn't make the connection. I did not make the connection that that is what it was. Because once I was raised and was able to start living my own life and working, and I knew I had this drive and this entrepreneurial drive, and I knew that that was in me, and I knew I liked nice things, you know. You never could have told me that I had this particular belief. You never could have told me I had this particular belief. And so when I went through this process, and the call was only about an hour, okay? And when I went through this process with him, and I saw, for one, with the technology now, how easy it was and how quick the results can be for some, and for me, because I've had some really good results, I was like, oh my God, it's simple, it makes sense, and it's easy to do. I was like, it was a no-brainer for me to invest in the Unleash Your Inner Millionaire series, and later to become a certified instructor and facilitator of the technology. Okay. So it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. All right. And so as a result of my having that experience with him on the conference call that particular day in that telesummit, 2 days later, my income increased by 20%. Okay. 2 days later, my income increased by 20%. And so what I did was, because when he was doing the clearings with us, he told us, he said, now, don't go try to do this on your own. Don't go try to do this on your own. So what did I go do? I went and tried it on somebody. All right. So I went and tried it. I showed him what I went through, what I did. I took him through everything he took me through. And, I was able to show her how to access the subconscious mind and get the yes and the no, using the body as a pendulum. And but I wasn't able to clear it. Let me see what J. Carroll says. And almost all your beliefs that control cause in that age, adults, you can trust create your future. Okay, so what he's saying is that from 0 to 7 years old, everything that we hear our parents say. Can you hear me now? How about now? Can you hear me now, J. Carroll? Is that better? It's still buffering? Audio only. Okay. Well, hopefully it will come back up, but you can't hear me. So what J. Carroll is saying is that from 0 to 7 years, the beliefs that are embedded in us, the words that we hear our parents say, the programs that they instill in us are creating our reality that we experience as adults, if we don't do anything about it. So for those of you listening to this in present time or in the future and haven't had children yet, all right, it's not too late. It's not too late. You can still make a difference, okay? So what I want to do is I want to take you through the process. So J. Carroll, are you able to participate? And Denise, are you able to participate? Is your location conducive enough? You don't have to come on and be on Front Street, but you can do it right where you are. Revel, woohoo! hey, Revel. Thank you for joining me. We just getting ready to start it. Would you like to take the open seat as I walk you through this process that is called Awakening Dynamics? And what we're going to be doing is showing you how to access the subconscious mind and see what resonates by asking questions, using the body as a pendulum. So Revel, if you have your pendulum, if you use your pendulum, or if you use any other form of muscle testing, you can do this with other forms of muscle testing. If you have a pendulum, if you have the true tester, if you know the ring finger method, you can do that. But I'm going to be demonstrating and walking you through the standing test. Okay, the standing test. All right, so we're going to walk you through how to check in with the subconscious mind relative to the limiting beliefs that you have. Hey, just woke up, need to get to class in a bit, love. Just want to say, hey, thank you so much for coming through, Revel. Very good. So what I want you to do, if you're able, Denise, are you still out there? Okay. What I would like for you to do is, if you haven't had any water, I want you to drink water because it's important that you are hydrated, period. Okay, you should be drinking half your body weight in ounces. So as a health and wellness self-healing activator and a holistic coach, mentor, trainer, facilitator, I help you to know how to activate the body's ability to heal, also using food. So we use food, energy medicine, crystals, activating the chakras, vibrational medicine, tapping with what Miss Revel, EFT practitioner, please follow her, uses. And so it's important that you are hydrated. It's important that you have adequate amounts of water, just period, because the brain needs 85% of that water. Okay, thank you, sis. And it's important that us to be able to flow properly. Okay, for us to be able to have everything in order to flow. Thanks, JC Carroll. See you later. So you should be drinking half your body weight in ounces in water. Just period. That's SOP, standard operating procedure. All right, half your body weight in ounces in water. Okay. And again, excuse the lighting. I know my media mentor, when she see this, she is going to be like, you know better. She's really loving though, but she's serious about her craft, okay, because she is phenomenal. Her name is Dr. Letitia Wright. So, perfect. What I say, perfection is the enemy of good enough. So please forgive me. I'm in somebody else's environment, and I can only do so much moving around without disturbing other folks' stuff. So, okay, so let's get to it because I want to be respectful of your time. And so what I would like for you to do, make sure you have water, okay? And if you are able to, if you're in a nice quiet environment where you won't be disturbed or distracted, it's okay, it's good. So what I would like for you to do is stand up. First of all, I have to ask permission to access your energy field. Hey, Miss Gwendolyn Boatwright, we're getting ready to shift some limiting beliefs, lady, using the body as a pendulum. So I hope that excites you. And you decide to stay with us. Ultimate soulmate, upscale soulmate. Okay, good stuff. And if you would like to join us in the seat, you can. So what I was asking is, in order to do this, do you give me permission to access your energy field? And if you say yes, just say it out loud. If you can put it in the chat, that would be good. If you don't, it's okay. All right. So for those of you listening to the replay, just say yes out loud. And for those of you that are on chat listening, just say yes out loud if you give me permission to access your energy field. Thank you. All right. So next, I would like for you to stand up and face north. And we face north so we can line up with the Earth's magnetic field. All right. If you don't know which way north is, it's okay. It's still going to work. Okay. And let me say this too. Even if you don't believe in this, it's still going to work. Because I've had people to say, oh, I tried to stop it from moving and I couldn't do it. proves my point of the power of the subconscious mind, because that is what controls 95% of everything that we create, okay? And this ties into the law of attraction. Hey, Drew. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are doing some block clearing, releasing vows of poverty and not enoughness. All right, so I'm getting ready to take everybody through a process. So if you are in a position where you can participate, give me permission to access your energy field just by saying yes out loud. And make sure you hydrate. Make sure you drink some water. If you don't have any water right now, when we do the testing, you may just experience where it may take longer for your body to respond, okay? Because we're using muscle testing, all right? We're going to be using muscle testing, all right? And so when the muscles are in the magnetic field, they respond. And this validates the power of words and why you should be intentional with what you say, how you say it, and your motive behind saying it. I'm always talking to people about, and one of my programs is called Shifting Your Shit. Okay, shifting your shit. You should always be aware and intentional about the words that you speak, because you're always creating. All right, so when you blaming somebody else or when you pointing the finger at somebody else, they really showed up as a reflection for you. All right. All right, so we keep it 100 here. All right, welcome, Claudia V. Taking people through a process to empower you to be able to access the subconscious mind to know what resonates as truth with you or what resonates as false with you. Because if it resonates as false with you, and in the context that we're talking about these limiting beliefs, these conversations we have in our head, okay, these records that we play over and over, this negative self-talk that we have over and over, okay, and that others try to impose upon us. That's what we're talking about, and that's what we're tapping into. So if you're just joining us, this energy is prevalent when you look at the replay. So if you didn't catch all of it and you want to, or you're not in a position where you can go through the exercise with us, it's okay. You can catch the replay and you can go back and look at episode 1, okay? Where we actually show you, we have women that were brave enough to come in on the seat. Hi Diane, to come in and join me in the live seat and do the live demonstration, all right? So if anyone is brave enough and transparent enough to show up, I'm not going to be asking you anything. I'm basically going to just take you through some limiting beliefs that we know most of us have, okay? Be it passed on from generation to generation, be it passed on from past life, or be it some stuff that experiences that we have had that have gotten locked into our cellular makeup, okay? And now we're creating these dysfunctional relationships and poverty mentality and scarcityness and not being enough, and it's constantly keeping us in a rat race and keeping us stuck and stagnant and dissatisfied. All right, so if any of you would like to join me on the seat, just request and I will welcome you. And so what I was doing was asking for permission to access your energy field. Just say yes out loud. And, oh, good, Claudia. Yes, yes, yes. Craft a neuroimmune illness. Oh, okay. Yes, we can help with that too. All right. So stand facing north. If you don't know which way north is, just it's okay. It's okay. It works whether you're facing north, east, south, or west. All right. And the key was having some water. So I was saying if you didn't have any water that you can ingest right now, that your response with your muscles responding may be a little bit slower. So just be patient, okay, with yourself. All right, and when you listen to the replay, make sure you drink water before you actually do the demonstration, okay? All right, so now that you're standing up and you are facing north or whichever direction you're facing, I want you to stand with your feet hip width apart, and I'm going to try to do this so I can show you. Okay, so I want you to stand with your, I want you to stand with your feet hip width apart, so they're in line with your hips. They're in line with your hips, wherever your hips are. That's how far apart your feet should be, okay? And, I need to have it point it down. I want you to, and I'm going to stand to the side. I want you to bring whichever arm you're comfortable with, be it your left or your right. I want you to bring it in front of you, right in front of your pelvic area. Okay? Bring it right in front of you, literally right in front of you. All right? When you do this, you're touching your private parts. All right? And so now what I want you to do, I want you to make sure your knees are relaxed. All right? So you should be able to sway if you're pushed. If somebody was to push you, you would move. Okay, so you want to make sure your knees are relaxed. All right, so now I want you to bring your arm straight up the front of you, just like you're zipping up a sleeping bag. All right, and you're going to bring it all the way to the top of your head, right over your seventh chakra. That's probably the eighth, ninth. Probably this is probably right at your ninth or 10th chakra, okay, outside of the body. All right, so now I want you just to relax your arm down, okay, and then I want you to say out loud, give me a yes. All right, so issue the command and say, give me a yes. If you have not moved, just be patient with yourself and be still. Okay, because you don't want to move your head and look around and do all of that. Okay, so again, you want to stand with your feet hip width apart. Bring your arm in front of you. Bring it all the way up. Relax it down to the side. Once your arm has stopped moving, you want to issue the command and say, give me a yes. And you may sway forward. So for those of you in the chat, welcome, Marcus. You should have swayed forward. Well, some people sway forward, some people move back. Okay, it's okay. So when you gave the instruction and you issued the command and you said, give me a yes, if your body moved forward, that means when you ask the subconscious mind a question and your body sways forward, that means it resonates as yes. It resonates as truth with your subconscious mind, okay? All right. So if you're having problems with this, with knowing how to zip up your field, you can go to my website, which is www.powerofoneness.com, and look at the video or look at the information I have on what is muscle testing. Okay, powerofoneness.com, and it's under Rise Above Emotions. Okay, it's under Rise Above Emotions. And I had a short link for you all for that one. I'll try to find it because I was supposed to put that in there. Okay. All right. Rise Above Emotion. All right. And you'll see what muscle testing is. And it tells you, it walks you through everything, how to do it. All right. And then you can listen to the replay and go through it. Okay. So now that we have established what yes means when we ask the subconscious mind a question, let's calibrate and get our no. Okay. So you want to zip up your field again. Bring your arm in front of you. It can be the same arm or a different arm. It doesn't matter. And relax your arm down to the side. Issue the command and say, give me a no. Whoa. Okay, so you saw I swayed back. So when I ask the body a question, for me, no. When I sway back, it means the answer is no. Okay? Very good. So now what happens after this? What we're going to do is we're going to test it. I want you to say what your name is. So, and this is how we test yes and no to make sure it's calibrated, okay? Because we know you know what your name is. And we know that you know if you're a male or female. Okay, so we're going to test. That could be questionable these days. No pun intended. Hey, no judgment here. So let's test. My name is, and you can say this, we can say it all together. So when I say my name is, I want you to say what your name is and wait for your body to respond. Okay? All right. So now we've established our yes and our no, we're going to test it. So my name is Felicia Muhammad. Okay. So hopefully you got a yes to that is what your name is. And what I have had happen as well is for if somebody said what their full name is and they said their married name or they said a name that they go by, one person got a no. And so I told her to state her maiden name, state what her full birth name was, and she stated that and got a yes. So stuff like that does happen. All right. Because maybe she was, okay, I'm not going to speculate. Okay, so now let's test. I want you to make up a name. Okay. I want you to make up a name so we can see if this resonates as truth for you or if it resonates as false. Okay. So now my name is Jonathan Kelly. My name is Mary Ann. Okay, I just did two because I said a man's name and I'm not a man. But my name still could have been Jonathan. So I just did that to test it. Okay, so how did that work for you? Give me some feedback in the chat. How did that work for you? Did everybody get their yes and their no? Okay, no problem. Okay, good. Good. All right, so now let's proceed forward. And I'm going to do what's called Healing 101. I'm going to do a couple of questions from Healing 101, and then we're going to get right into a couple of the poverty beliefs. Okay, so these poverty beliefs, as I said, can be inherited from previous life, past life, and some of them may be a surprise to you because consciously you didn't even know. You didn't know that was something that was running in your background, right? In your mind, in your subconscious mind. And some of them you don't even agree with, all right? So that's a part of it. All right, so now let's test. We're going to be doing Healing 101. So now let's test. I know what unconditional love is. Okay, so if you got a yes, you got a yes. If you got a no, offer your permission, and what we're going to do is we're going to download that into you so you will know, okay, what unconditional love is. So we're going to download that into you, all right, accessing the theta brainwave, all right. So say yes out loud, and all right, so now retest. I know what unconditional love is. Okay, and so hopefully that shifted, and now you have a yes, that you know what unconditional love is. Okay, give me some applause if you're getting this. Hey Chris, I think you left back out. It's probably like, what is this lady doing up here? Okay, good stuff, J. Carroll. Thank you. All right, so the next one let's go through is that, and when I say fill in the blank, I'm going to say God. So whatever you refer to God as, or even if you are an atheist, it's okay. Whatever you refer to, you can just make up something because we know you hear and you're breathing. So we're tapping into that subconscious mind that's within you, that's beating your heart. That's what we're tapping into. Okay, so whether you believe in God or not, it still works. All right, so let's test and repeat after me. I am worthy of God's love. Okay. So if you got a yes, welcome Marketing with Love. We're doing a live demonstration on how to access the subconscious mind to clear limiting beliefs that are keeping us stuck. So we're right in the middle of this process. And if you want to listen to the replay or join me on the hot seat, I can take you through it. And if not, you can check the replay out, and the energy will still be present and available for anyone listening to the replay. So you can still go through and receive benefits. Okay. So the next question is, because I'm going to say God, and so we tested it. Some of us got a yes, some of us may have gotten a no. So if you got a no, if you received a no, your answer was no, and you move back, offer your permission, and we will download that into you so that you can know, or we will shift that belief into you using the theta brainwave, so that you can know that you are worthy of God's love. And as I said, if you're atheist, whatever you refer or believe in or whatever, it's up to you. Replace it with whatever you want to. All right. All right. So now for those that got to know, offer your permission out loud. Say yes if you want to know that you are worthy of God's love. Okay, so retest. I am worthy of God's love. All right, so hopefully that shifted for you. If throughout this demonstration, if it doesn't shift, then I'm going to be offering you the opportunity to have a complimentary session outside of this complimentary session, okay, where we work privately with you. All right, so you can also sign up for that at my website that I posted in the chat, and I will post it again, and you can sign up for your complimentary session, okay, and we'll be able to do that via web or just over the telephone. So for the things that we work on today, that we clear today, if they don't shift for you, if they don't clear for you, then it just means that we need to do a little bit more work. Okay. All right. We need to dig a little bit deeper. All right. Okay. So now let's get to it. We're going to do one more for the Healing 101. And so now let's test. I know how to receive and accept a healing. So say it out loud. I know how to receive and accept a healing. All right. So if you got a yes, no judgment, it is what it is. Hey, Tony, if you got a no, then offer your permission and we will shift that belief in you that accessing the theta brainwave, that you do know how to receive and accept the healing. So for those of you who got a no, then offer your permission and we will give that to you, download that into you. All right, retest. I know how to receive and accept a healing. And hopefully it has shifted. So how was that? How was that? Did that work for everybody? Give some props. Put it in the chat if it worked for you. Georgia Lee, welcome, welcome, welcome. How you doing, lady? Miss Bold and Brilliant. So what we're doing, Miss Georgia, is that I'm actually doing a live demonstration, and for those that are in chat, they're participating, if they can, in showing you how to access the subconscious mind to clear these limiting beliefs. And today we're focusing on bowels of poverty and not enoughness. Okay, so we just took everybody through what is called Healing 101. All right, so we can go ahead and calibrate the body. We're using muscle testing and we're using the standing test. So if you are familiar and if you would like to join me on the open seat, I would love that. And we can do a live demonstration with you. All right. I do have a live demonstration that was done with three women last week. That was on the first series that we did. So we're going to welcome Miss Georgia in. Bold, Brilliant. Hey, lady.
Hey.
I had the pleasure of meeting Miss Georgia last week, and it was such a phenomenal experience. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me join.
Yes.
And, I've never done this before, so I'm open. I have done muscle testing, but I'm
okay.
open.
Which method do you use?
I don't know what method it was. It was working with a nutritionist. And
Okay.
she did a practice where you had your arm out and she'd ask you a question and go like this. And if it went down real easy, I guess it was the truth. And if it wasn't,
no, it resonated as if it went down real easy, it's a no. If it stayed firm, it was a yes.
Oh,
So
okay,
yeah,
yes.
that's the arm lever test. Yes, that's the
Right.
arm lever test. Yes.
Yeah, and it was, she
Okay.
was checking certain things about, I guess allergens or about, um, you know, um, I don't know, like
Yeah,
things that you
food
might be allergic
allergies
to
and
or
different things.
nutritional
Yeah.
supplements that
Yep.
might be good or not good for
For
the
you.
body. Excuse me one
Mm-hmm.
second.
Oh no, no problem.
It's my birthday.
Oh, happy, 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 happy. Oh,
Thank you.
this is good. Nothing happens by coincidence. This is phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah. So I was glad to see you were on. I just finished my own blab, and
Yeah, I saw that and I wasn't able to come over.
I know. Well, that's the problem. All the great things are always at the same time, right? But we finished up, so I'm glad I got a chance to come over here. I'm going out to dinner for my birthday tonight, so I had to take a moment and answer a text message here, getting together with people
Oh,
for my birthday. So
good
anyway, so
stuff.
so what do I do if I'm a guinea pig?
Okay. So pardon my lighting, and I know I should have better lighting, but I'm at somebody else's place, and I can't control move other stuff
You got
and be
stuck
like,
on
oh, I need some good lighting. I'm getting ready to do a webinar. So, okay. So what I want
yeah,
you to do, I want you to stand
lemon
up. Have you
water.
had some water today? Have you had water?
All
Okay,
right,
good.
stand up.
Woohoo! Lemon water, very good. So you take you a
Uh,
good little swig. All right. And now stand up.
okay,
And if you
so
know which way your north
oh wait,
is,
no,
face the
there's the George
north.
Washington Bridge. It's
If
headed
you
north.
don't,
So
it's
this is
okay.
north.
It's okay if you don't know which. Okay, good. So what I want you to do is stand with your feet hip width apart.
Okay.
Make sure they're hip width apart and your toes are straight. but your
Okay.
but your knees are really soft. Okay, so if somebody
All
was to
right.
walk past you and push you, you will fall over. Okay, so your knees are soft. All right, and so now look at me for a minute because I'm going to show you what I want you to do next. I want you to, we're going to do what's called zipping up your field. Okay, so I want you to bring your arm in front of you and it would be right in front of your pelvic area. Okay, and then what I want you to do is we're going to do what's called zipping up the field. So you're going to bring your arm straight up the middle, and it's going to be right in front of you. And then I want you to relax it down to the side. All right, so let's do that again. Because what's key, this is like visualize yourself in a sleeping bag, right? And you're zipping up the sleeping bag, so you're coming straight up the middle. It's coming straight up. All right, but it's straight. Yes, yes. And it's going right to the top of your head, right where your chakras are. Maybe your 10th chakra. Right to the very top, all the way. Make sure your elbow is straight. Yep. And relax down. Now, repeat after me and just look straight ahead. You don't need to see me doing anything after this point. Look straight ahead. And I want you to issue the command and say, give me a yes.
Give me a yes.
Okay, so be still, don't move, and just look straight ahead. Okay, so zip up your field again.
Give me
Bring
a
your
yes.
arm in front of. Okay, can you hear me? Okay,
Not too well.
can you? Okay, you have your earphones, your
I'm going to move you
earbuds.
closer to me. There.
Okay, so zip up your field again. All right, and now issue the command and say, "Give me a yes."
Give me a yes.
Which way did you feel yourself sway initially? Ah, there it is. Did you feel yourself sway forward just now before you turned?
Yes.
Okay, you felt yourself sway forward. Okay. All right. So now zip up your field again and issue the command and say, give me a no.
Give me a yes.
No, give me a no.
Oh, give me a no. Sorry.
Okay, do it again. Zip up your field again.
Give me a no. I went forward again.
You went forward, yeah, because when you zipped it up and you said, "Give me a yes." All right, so let's. What I want you to do. This is good. Oh my God, this is good. Okay, so what I want you to do is take your hand and do an X in front of you so you can cancel that last command. Yes, very good. And so this time, when you zip up your field, you don't have to bend your knees. Just bring your arm in front of you and just pull it all the way up to the top. Yes, yes. But make sure you take it all the way to the top of your head. Okay, your crown chakra. Make sure you take it all the way to the top of the crown chakra. Okay, all the way up. Yes. All right. Yes. Now issue the command and say, "Give me a no."
Give me a no.
Ah, you went back. Right, right, right. Very good. Very good. So now let's test it. What I want you to say is repeat after me, but I want you to say, when I ask you what is your name, when you say my name is, I want you to say your full name, okay? So I want you to repeat after me and say, my name is.
My name is Georgia Lee Cordell London.
Ah, yes. Okay, sway forward. So that resonates as a yes, right?
Yes.
Okay, for everybody else that's we're gonna get to the clearing. I want to get her caught up. Okay, we're gonna get to the poverty in a minute. So now I want you to make up a name. Okay, so just make up a name and say, my name is.
My name is Florence Schneider. I went back.
Right.
I'm not doing this either. I mean, it's just happening. It's creepy. I mean, it's good. It's good, but it's a little creepy.
It is. Yeah.
And my whole
Go ahead.
body's like charged up, like with energy. You know, like I feel this tingling stuff.
Yes, yes. This is one of the benefits. You are definitely energized. Yes, you are definitely energized. Okay, so let's take you through Healing 101 real quick. So now let's test. So repeat after me. I am worthy of God's love, and you can replace God with whatever you call him. Okay, him or her. Okay.
I am worthy of God's love. It's been pretty strong in that.
Okay, very good.
Oh, Felicia,
Yeah. So and these are all relative to beliefs. I want to remind everybody we are testing beliefs because we
Felicia,
know the subconscious mind
got you on
creates
audio.
me. I see you.
Okay, we can hear you.
Okay, all right, it's okay. Yeah, as long as you can still hear me. I see you guys. Okay, very good. All right, and I can see you, so that's important. All right. All right, so good. All right, so now let's test. I know how to receive and accept a healing. Okay, good. All right, so now let's test. I know what unconditional love is. Very good. Very good. All right, so now for everybody else, we're all on the same page.
I'm feeling good. It's interesting.
How you feeling, Georgia?
Chakra, it's like something gets pulled from there, you know, and in the martial arts that I study, it's called the Tatian, right? And it seems like this like coil of energy just pulls me forward. I'm really not doing it myself. It's weird. But it comes from that place.
Yeah, that's normal. I get that a lot because that's responding to the energy. And that's why I want to express to everyone that this proves that the power of the words that we speak, we have to be really cognizant of it. Okay, we have to be really aware of the words we speak because we're always creating. We're always creating. Okay, it's in the chat. We're all on the same page now. So I want everybody to test. Okay, so I just have audio only. Okay, but I can see. Can you see Miss Carol? Can you see Georgia? I mean, can everybody see Georgia? Okay. All right, Miss Georgia, I can see you. All right. So now for everybody else, let's test. Now we're getting into the poverty. We're getting into some of the beliefs around poverty. And let me stand up too. I know I've done this, but we're gonna see. Because most of the time it does last instantly. It is instantaneous and it does last forever, unless you have something else traumatic that happens. Okay, but for the most part, it does. It is permanent. Okay, it is permanent. So now let's test. I wrote out the ones I wanted us to go over, especially for a spiritual healers and people like that. Okay, so now let's test. I have to be poor to be close to God. Whoa. So repeat that out loud.
Now I can.
Can you hear me, Georgia?
Okay.
Okay, let's test. I have to be poor to be close to God.
Close to God. I think I
Which way
did
did
a
you go
little
first? It
bit.
looked like you went forward first.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So you wanna clear that belief? Okay, one moment. Okay, so retest for everybody else who got a yes and you want to clear that belief. Let's retest. I have to be poor to be close to God.
I'm still getting a yes.
All right, you still got a yes. Okay, so hold on one second. Offer your permission again and we will do it again. And for everybody who got a yes, let's clear it. All right, one moment. Okay, retest. I have to be poor to be close to God.
Poor to be close to God.
All right now. You feel that shift
I
go
do.
back?
And I keep thinking,
Yes, so we shift.
am I doing it or is it just happening? And it is just happening.
Yes, so we just shifted that belief, Miss Carol. I mean, I don't know why I keep wanting to call you Carol, Georgia. All right, let's do one more.
Okay.
All right, how's everybody else doing in the chat? And again, if it doesn't clear, remember I said we need to do some more digging. So you can schedule a complimentary session and we can work on that in a private complimentary session for you. All right, so now let's test. I know how to live without being poor. Say it out loud. How to live without being poor.
Could you repeat it?
I know how to live without being poor.
I know how to live without being poor.
Okay, good, very good. All right, now, so for those that are in the chat who got a no and you want to shift that belief, just offer your permission by saying no out loud and we will download that into you. We will clear that belief, rather. We will clear that belief. All right, retest. For those that got a no, I know how to live without being poor. Okay, and very good. Hopefully it's shifted. If not, we need to do some more digging on it. Okay, and let's do one more. Let's see. I know, no, I have a vow of poverty. Let's test. I have a vow of poverty. A vow of poverty. Very good. So for those of you who got a yes and you would like to clear that belief or shift that belief, offer your permission. All right, now retest. I have a vow of poverty. And hopefully it has shifted to no. Now you do not have a vow of poverty. All right, let's do one more. I'm sorry, let's do one more. Sorry. Sorry, Georgia. And if you have one in the chat that you want me to do, just put it in there and we'll see if we can do it for those that are on the chat. Okay, so let's test. I know how to live without debt. I know how to live without debt.
I know how to live without debt.
Okay.
I got a no, then a
So if you
yes.
got a no and you want it to be a yes, movement. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, good. Very good. All right. So now for those who got a no and you want it to be a yes, then offer your permission by saying yes, and we will change it for you. Okay, retest. I know. Oh, can you hear me, Georgia?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So retest. I know how to live without debt.
I know how to live without debt.
All right. All right. Very good. Very good. Okay. That's all we're going to do today. That's what I wanted to demonstrate. And now we'd like to get some feedback.
Got your audio.
Communicate with the subconscious mind. You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I can see you. I can still see you. So, how was that experience, Georgia?
That was awesome. I really, it's surprising. You don't expect it to just, I keep thinking it's my thoughts that are moving me, but it's not. It's something else. It's a strange sensation. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and and yet, there's power in that truth. There really is. And I'm actually, in a place. Not, I've been in a place of poverty. I mean, I've grown up in extreme poverty. In a one room of a hotel, and it was a factory hotel. Like everybody who worked in the factory lived in this hotel, and my whole family, and there's like seven, lived in this one room. So I mean, I know what poverty is, right? So I've been there, and part of my whole
Mm-hmm.
thing
Mm-hmm.
was to get out of that place, right, of poverty. And so I spent a lot of time in my life, uh, early in my life, wanting to make money, wanting to be rich, and all that kind of stuff. And I did, and by my mid 20s, I was already, very wealthy. I had started a business and I sold that business after 3 years. And in that time period, it was in the millions. So I had a lot of money. And then some of you may not be old enough to remember Black Thursday, but Black Thursday was in the 80s. And I lost all that money. So I've had it, and now I'm back to
Oh,
having money.
okay.
So I'm not in poverty by any means. I have two households, three cars, all that kind of crap. But it's, for me, um, wealth is way more than just having money, right? And, and it's the thoughts that we
Mm-hmm.
have, it's the beliefs that we have. And it was interesting to me that
Right.
I
Right.
felt like I have worked on my beliefs around money so much, and that they were
Mm-hmm.
pretty clear. My beliefs around money is pretty clear. And then I found it interesting that when we said about I forget exact expression, but the poverty to be close to God, I have to be in poverty to be close to God. And it was
Mm-hmm.
interesting that even though I feel like I have
Mm-hmm.
this very clear mindset on money, and it's always been very easy for me to make money, but money's, the energy water, right? It's fluid.
Mm-hmm.
So money kind of, it moves in and out of our lives, and it
Mm-hmm.
moves and on our beck and call. I mean, it moves on our mindset. And so I was surprised
Mm-hmm.
that I'm still holding on to that belief that to be close to God, I have to be in poverty. And, and that was really interesting to me. So thank you. Cool.
Right. And I'm glad you yeah, yay! Yeah, let me give you some props.
Thank you.
Woohoo! Yeah, because that's what I was saying in the beginning about aligning the subconscious mind up with the conscious mind because like you just said, you got resources, and you had wealth and you currently have it. And so it's not the things, but like you were leading to, is the mentality. And then for you to test, to be able to tap into the subconscious mind, which controls 95% of everything we create and that we do, which is autonomic nervous system. And the 5% is the conscious. And for you to tap in and ask the question and to see that the belief around having to be poor to be close to God was a yes for you, that was, again, that was an awakening, and that was really big. And so it really shows that what we think consciously is not always the truth of our reality.
Exactly.
And what was phenomenal to me when I had my own experience. Because like I was like, I knew I had some self-defeating habits and some patterns that I was practicing. And no, I didn't grow up, with a silver spoon in my mouth. However, I didn't want for anything. I was raised in the projects, but still, I didn't know that was poor. I had food on my table, I had clothes, my mother worked, so no, I didn't have some of the things that my cousins, them had, but my mother never talked about it as poverty. She just went and worked every day, So for me, how it was translated was that, you got to work hard. It's hard to make money, and that's what showed up for me, or I got to struggle to make money.
Yeah.
And so when and I knew that part was a reality because it was like that's all I was doing, hustling and bustling. And at the same time, I didn't want to go the same route that my mother was going. So I knew I was born with the entrepreneur spirit, and I use that term very loosely. and and so when I went through my process, with Unleashing Your Inner Millionaire, what showed up for me was a poverty consciousness. I didn't have a vow of poverty, but it was a poverty consciousness. And so I was shocked. Like you, I was surprised because I'm like, what? Really? And so again, it just opened me up to be able to look at, wow. So sometimes what I think consciously that I have dealt with and have gotten over, relative to traumas and experiences and dysfunctional relationships and, all that type of stuff, bad eating habits. Um, it's like, wow, this technology just took it to another whole level with empowering me to be able to check out and ask the question of my body of what's really the truth for me, what really resonates as truth for me. Hey, Reverend Noreen, we're gonna let you in. Come on in.
Thank
Come
you so
on
much.
in.
How are you? Hi, everybody.
Good. How are
I just
you?
when you were talking, it resonated in my spirit because I wanted to ask you, Felicia, so why does it take us so long to come out of the I'm an entrepreneur to I am a CEO or I am a president. That's a mindset. When I started my business, I never said I am an entrepreneur.
Right, because that's all the experience that some of us have had, and you were blessed not to necessarily maybe have that experience. But for some of us, that's what we were introduced to as that definition of a person who is not doing the traditional job, or corporate route, and they're doing something for themselves. So that's how it was introduced to me. So that's all I knew. The understanding of was an entrepreneur.
Okay, so now you're a CEO.
Yes.
Okay, because yes. I've been hearing that around, and I'm saying, when do we come out of, what you speak is what you are. So if you don't have no employees, my parents were just like you, didn't know that we were in poverty. I never lived in the ghetto. I'm not ghetto, but in the in projects, but I saw them working and all of that. So they said we had to cultivate, they cultivated us to say, you are a leader. That's all I heard was you are a leader. You are a leader. That's what I hear my counterparts say all the time. They never say, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. No, the majority of them say, I am the president of my company, or I am the CEO or the CFO or whatever. I very rarely, with my counterparts that I'm in the circle with, ever heard them say, I'm an entrepreneur.
Right. And that's a blessing. That's a blessing. That's really a blessing.
So I want us as when I talk across the country, I always say, I am a CEO of Fresh Winds Ministry / agency.
Good. Very good.
I might not have the CEO money. You understand what I'm saying? But I know before I get 60, I'm going to be the multi-millionaire CEO.
Right. Very good. Very good. And that's what we're working on today. Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
That's what we're talking about today.
I have unleashed my inner millionaire.
Yes. Yeah. Woohoo. Good stuff. Thank you for sharing.
Yes. I just wanted to come in. Hi, Lori. How are you? Great, Georgia. I need to follow you too. You said a mouthful.
Yes.
And it empowers me.
Max coming for you?
Reverend Noreen, I sent you a message today because I got your message about Kelly, and the work that you're doing is awesome. And, I want to acknowledge that.
Okay, we'll have them call me and I'll pay it for it.
So we'll
very
connect
good.
sometime.
Okay, we'll do.
One of my businesses, I've had several businesses, and it's funny. One of my businesses, I named myself CEO too, but the CEO stood for Chief Energy Officer.
There you go.
Energy. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I like that.
Exactly. That's it. That's it. That's it.
I like that one. That's
it.
good. Yeah. So
that's good. Yeah.
I love these connections because it's just so much that I love this blab. I do. I love it because of the fact that I just couldn't get with Periscope. I don't like just talking and I can't do it. I can't read and talk, and I want to see your expressions. I want to see, because we are in a society now where we can hide behind the computer. But guess what? This is a place where people can feel your energy. They can see your sincerity, your passion, just in your voice, in your body expressions. So this is a great platform. So I enjoy it.
Yes, thank you, thank you,
So
thank you.
for
Yes,
having
yes,
this
yes.
blab. And I love you guys. And Lori, hey girl, you looking relaxed over there. Love you so much.
Love you too. I loved everything you said.
Thank you. I am hungry, so I'm going to eat, but I'll be still listening. Okay. Love you guys.
Okay,
Have a great one.
Thank you. Take care. Oh, and tweet it out. Everybody tweet it out. Yes, yes, yes.
Tweet it out.
Yes, yes, tweet it out. So for those that participated in the clearing that we just did, please put your comments in the section as to how you're feeling, because sometimes you won't feel anything instantaneously. It's different for everybody, okay? And so, like I said, for the ones that you got a no on and you want it to be a yes, let's schedule a complimentary session so we can have a private, I can give you a private session, and then we can work directly on what we can work on shifting that for
Felicia,
you, okay?
Are you cutting out?
And so if you have any questions, of course, put them in the chat as well. If you're not quite, I don't know. I still see you guys. Can you
Georgia,
hear me?
Is she cutting out a little bit?
She is, but I can hear her.
Yeah, I can hear her too. She's cutting out a little bit.
Oh, okay.
You might want to repeat
Okay,
that.
yeah, I think it's been doing that. Oh, I was saying that for those that were in the chat, for those beliefs that didn't clear and you want to change it, if it was a no and you want it to be a yes, then schedule a private complimentary session and we can work directly on those, okay? And so Miss Lori, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. We are talking about unleashing your inner millionaire and showing them how to line up the subconscious mind and the conscious mind and get it on the same page. Okay, so we can co-create new realities for ourselves and let go of that baggage that is keeping us stuck. Those limiting beliefs of thoughts, of chatter, of talk, of shit that we have going on in our head that's keeping us in the rat race, keeping us procrastinating, keeping us in cycles that are unproductive to our divine purpose. Welcome, Eric.
Yeah,
so what is your input?
I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my story. I'm approaching 60, and I've had to become an entrepreneur CEO out of necessity. My husband has an artificial heart. And so I grew up in poverty. Okay. I grew up in a severely abused environment. Okay. And I'm kind of living large right now through really hard work. And so, Felicia, I wanted to comment on what you were saying earlier about we didn't know we were poor.
Yeah.
And it struck me. I grew up on the East Coast and in the New York area. And I knew there was something different about me, but I didn't know that there were people living these huge lives and that you could be a business. My father basically told me, learn how to type and you'll be a secretary. Okay, that was his that was his advice. And in those days, I'm talking the 60s, there was no place for women to go. I mean, you were a secretary, or you were going to be home, barefoot, pregnant, and in the kitchen, as we used to say. The first time that I realized that I was poor was when I went to school, and I had holes in my shoes, and my friends didn't. And so to translate that to now, to 2015, I still feel kind of, well, I'm not worthy. I'm starting a business. I'm the CEO. I'm the founder. I have the education to do it. I even got the funding. Don't ask me how. But do you know what I mean, Georgia? It's one of those things where first being a woman and then a woman in poverty, it kind of you second guess every step that you're going to take.
Okay.
And my thing is that, and this platform has been immensely helpful. I don't know how you feel about it, Georgia, but you take those risks. I mean, that's how I got through all the hard stuff previously, was by taking those risks and not taking no for an answer. Got me in a lot of trouble, but you know what? I was like, hey, I don't have anything to lose.
Exactly.
You know, when you don't have anything else left to lose, you're like, screw it. I'm not going to take no for an answer.
Yeah.
And so now that I do have stuff to lose, you know, when you have a home and a family and a car and you're like, oh, I don't know about this. Should I do it? Should I not do it? To have more women's groups like what you're doing, Felicia and Georgia, you build me up. And thank heavens for Reverend Noreen. I feel a kindred spirit to her already. I grew up in a African American environment, and I got whooped with my friends. If we stepped out of line, my girlfriend's mother had no problem taking the wooden spoon to my behind. And, you know, you learn, but it keeps you, it gave you validation that, you know, you're worth more than that. You know, you're not supposed to be behaving this way. You know better. And now that I live in this lily white community, I don't have that anymore.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, Felicia, for me, I grew up in a very multicultural kind of environment. And I traveled the world and I met lots of people. But now I live in a white community. And these and I hate to paint a broad brushstroke, but they don't get it.
What is it they don't get?
the self entitlement.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like
I do.
When they turn on the lights, they know they're going to come on because they grew up with money.
Okay.
You know, I grew up in the fear that we didn't have enough heat. You know, and we froze to death. I mean, when we were kids, my mother would wake us up to go to school. And I'm telling you, you could see your own breath in the house. It was terrible. I mean, really bad. Yeah. So the self-entitlement comes from, like, I'm living on the West Coast now.
Okay.
And we're having a problem with water. And my neighbor across the street is power washing his driveway. Using water to clean his driveway.
Sorry,
got off on a tangent.
No, we get it. You know, Laurie,
it's good.
Yeah. And Laurie, you know, I just about a year ago, I was living in California in the Sacramento area, a little over a year ago, and you know, and the drought was bad then, and it just gets worse and worse. And the same thing in my neighborhood. You know, the guy next door would get out and start power washing his driveway, and it was like, you're kidding me. I take a 2-minute shower and he's power washing his driveway. Right. You know, and so yeah, it's frustrating. It really is. And I think you brought up a very important point about what Felicia's saying, that, you know, we have these mindsets, you know, we get these mindsets about poverty, those feelings of not being good enough, the feeling that, you know, people, you know, that are different. If you've grown up in poverty, different than someone who's grown up in wealth, right? They have a totally different mindset. And you're absolutely right. They have this entitlement sort of mindset. I was sharing earlier that I also grew up in poverty, but my kids did not, right? I have adult kids now, but they grew up in wealth, right? And they had a different take on things. Their mindsets were different. They were the ones who felt entitled. And as a parent, I had to work really hard to just, help them see that not everybody gets to be in this, beautiful house and not worry about turning on electricity and getting electricity. And so it was taking an active role as a parent to show them that there are other people who live other ways, right? Having them at the soup kitchen, handing out food, and being in community organizations where they could give back and help. And that was the message I wanted to always give to them, that, you may have wealth, but all wealth is about giving back all that wealth to those people who need it, right? And part of the work that I do is encouraging women, who have these mindsets that they can't be the CEO, that they can't be the entrepreneur, that
I
they
gotta
can't
go.
have wealth.
I'll come right back.
Encouraging them that they can. And I think Felicia did a great job today in showing how we can clear out this mindset. I love the idea, Felicia, of the muscle testing that you did. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I wanted to speak to what she was mentioning about, and this proves the point of how, not saying, because I don't know the guy she was talking about, but this proves the point of a mindset, a wealth mentality mindset, when okay, so they're in a drought, we got droughts happening everywhere, and this person is power washing. Okay, so, and this was so just hear me, okay, because the way the wealth think and the way poverty and scarcity mentality people think is totally different. Okay, so, and because we don't know him, we don't really know what he was thinking. So I'm not judging it on either way. I'm just wanting us to be open to a principle of how the wealthy think versus poverty-stricken people think, and the power of us shifting our beliefs and consciousness to tap into the abundance of what's available. Okay, can you hear that? Can you hear that? Because God is unlimited. And this is not about religion. It's a principle. There are many different blades of grass, okay? No two blades of grass are the same. No snowflake is the same, all right? So just in this example, and I want to prove how the wealthy think and how we have, and why it's important for us, for me, let me speak for me personally, for me to continue to evolve in this work of being conscious of what I think and being truthful with myself about the thoughts that I have, why I do what I do, what my intentions are, what my motivation is. Because the wealthy know that there's always flow. And Georgia, you alluded to it by referring to the water as referring to the money as water. So it's no coincidence that she brings that particular example up. Okay. So when you understand and when your mindset is that that money is energy and it flows unlimitlessly, it's unlimited. We have access to it. That don't mean we want to abuse it. Okay, so yes, he should have been respectful that the county is trying to conserve water. He should have been conscious of that. Okay, so again, I'm not justifying him power washing his car, but the principle that I'm pointing out is that there is abundance. There's always enough water. And this ties into what I relate to as not enoughness. When I really thought about it, when I was reflecting on my life and, I'm thinking, oh, that's not enough. It's not going to be enough. When I look back over my life, I've actually had everything that I've desired, that I've wanted. Okay. And my not enoughness stemmed from my father not being in my life, because I wanted him around and I didn't get what I thought I should have got from him. So he was not him being the root cause, but that experience was the root cause of me believing that I'm not enough. But when God made me and gave me divine life, that's enough right there. Okay. But of course, I wasn't young enough to understand that then. It wasn't being taught to me like that then, because your parents only can work with what they have to work with. Right. So I'm not blaming my mother or anybody. However, just showing the point that when we begin to tap into the unlimitless resources that are available to us, that's a wealth consciousness. Because when you're wealthy, and when you have a wealthy mindset, you can manifest and create on demand. You manifest and create what you need when you need it. That's ultimately, personally, of how I'm choosing to operate right now. Because as I'm clearing these limiting beliefs, it's making room for me to be present in the now, but to also project the future. So as I'm walking in my future, it's happening right then and there. Does that make sense, Georgia?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I totally believe that we, can attract anything into our lives. And I think the process that you're using with the muscle testing is a really interesting and a great way to do that. As you said, to clear out some of those limiting beliefs, that not good enough, about poverty, whatever, or, judging people, whatever we're doing in our lives that we want to get clear of. I think that the muscle testing is a great way to do that. So thank you for letting me be a part of that and experience that. I am going to have to go now myself too.
No problem.
This is my birthday. And
happy, woohoo!
Thank you. And my family's waiting for me, so I'm going to go now. And I really appreciate what Laurie had to say and Reverend Noreen had to say, everyone in the comments. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Felicia. I'm sure we'll talk soon.
Yes,
right,
thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Take care and happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right. So that's what I wanted to share with everyone today and give you a little taste of. I did put the link in the chat for you to access your complimentary session, 20-minute session, and have an experience where you can begin to tap into knowing how to contact and access the subconscious mind and check in with those beliefs that you're holding and look and see in some of those areas where you're stuck, and where you may be having slower progress than you may desire right now. Okay, so some of those areas where you're like, oh, you wish it could be a little bit different, so you want to be able to access the true source, and which is the subconscious mind, the autonomic nervous system, to see how those beliefs that you have resonate with you, so you can begin to shift them and begin to co-create new realities for yourself. All right, and attract the people, the places, the things, the situations that are divinely destined to support you in those particular areas. And so we do offer this service as group sessions, just like we're doing now. And I'm going to be doing a group conference call next October 5th. And you're welcome to participate. I will have a link where you can register for the conference call. And I'm going to take you through the whole, an hour worth of the Unleash Your Inner Millionaire series, okay? And so this works with relationships, health, wealth, all areas of your life. And what you will notice as a result, so for those of you, let me say, who have participated today and who will be looking at the replay, when you, after you have a session, it generally takes, for most people, a sleep cycle for the energy to process. Okay, so it can happen in hours. For others, it's different, but generally we recommend a sleep cycle. You may have more awarenesses. Some people have reported experiencing being lighter, feeling lighter even after a session. And some people experience higher energy. Go ahead. Go ahead. Some people experience greater energy. Some people get greater focus, clarity, and awarenesses. You're more aware of certain things. Okay. And what I had one lady to share with me from last week's participation that she experienced, she said it's just like now she has all these thoughts of everything of how she sees this can help her in other areas of her life, because she made her appointment for a complimentary session with a specific intent. And she's, for her, she said if she can get results based off of this issue she was dealing with, then she knows, she's gotten something. And so, of course, she did receive what she was expecting, what she worked on. She did see the benefits from it. And now it's just opened her up to so many other awarenesses that she thought of, but she didn't believe she would have time to work on it. She didn't believe, thank you, welcome, Ray. She didn't believe that, she was going to have enough time to work on and fulfill and, or even know how to put the systems in place. And so now that information and those people, those places, those things are showing up for her. So, and she got energized immediately after. She was able to, she acknowledged how filthy her house was, and she got energy, cleaned up her house the next day. And she was like, that was amazing. So that was amazing to her. So as we have our experiences, you want to release judgment from yourself. Okay, you want to release judgment and being judgmental of yourself. Okay, so I would love to get some feedback from you. If you're just joining us, please take an opportunity to look at the replay and go to the live demonstration at your leisure. Okay, so you too can have an experience. And when you schedule your complimentary session, you have the link. Walaikum salam, Gangology. Ray, you can still receive your complimentary session as a result of listening to the replay. So the energy is evergreen. Okay, the energy is evergreen, and you will receive the benefits whether you had the experience today or you're listening 10 to 15 years from now. Okay, so I wanted to thank everyone for listening, for participating, for being open and being aware and being present. So thank you so much. And we're going to stay tuned, because we are going to be doing more of these. And again, I'm going to be offering a complimentary, not a compliment, I'm going to be doing a conference call, an hour-long conference call where we're going to just be clearing blocks. We're going to take 15 minutes to calibrate, and then after that, we are clearing. We're going to be clearing blocks. So sign up, put in the note when you schedule your complimentary session that you are interested in participating in the conference call, which you'll get an email anyway, but it's going to be next week, October the 5th. And it's going to be at 7:30 p.m. I'm looking for the link. So I'll come back in and email you or give you an alert to let you know that when we're going to be doing it, so you can go register, because you do have to register. You do have to register for the Unleash Your Inner Millionaire conference call. All right. Thank you so much for your time. It's been a hoot, and we will talk to you later. All right. Be well.